Hello, this is Jess from Soul Star Healing and Tarot, and I am today going to be doing a little bit of a freestyle reading. I just took the dog out for a little bit of a walk and to run around in the backyard. And while I was back there, I was thinking to myself, what kind of spread did I want to do for this reading? And I just got the message to go freestyle, and that's what I'm going to do. So I don't even know what this reading's going to be about. We're going to learn together as we go, and we're just going to see what spirit wants us to know today. Okay, so let's start with the Keepers of the Light Oracle to see who is guiding this message to us and for us today. I live in New England, and today was the warmest day we've had this year. We got to like 58 degrees. And tomorrow is the first day of spring. I'm going to post this tomorrow. So the day that this is posted will be the first day of spring. So the tarot decks I pulled out are a little more like bright and sunshiny and flowery to pay homage to the springtime. I'm so ready for some warm weather, and I'm really ready to open the windows in my house. So tired of being shut in. Okay. Spirit, may we have one card here. There we go. Ooh, Mercury. We may have some messages we need to hear about. Let's see. Open communication. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. Let's see what this says in the book. Okay. All right. Mercury is the Roman god of messages and communication. In Greek mythology, he is known as Hermes. He has often been depicted with wings on his feet, representing his capacity to be swift, and carrying a caduceus, the same healing wand that Archangel Raphael is known to carry. As well as overseeing communication, he oversees the planet Mercury. When this goes retrograde, which it is right now, while I'm reading this, which means it appears to go backwards, when seen from the Earth, communication can be delayed or difficult. We can call on Mercury for help with loving, honest, and open conversations, divination, and any form of expressive art, such as writing, poetry, and journalism. He can also help us heal miscommunications that have caused distress. Okay? And this will be a timeless reading, but however, like I said, Mercury is in retrograde at this time, as well as Venus. So that could be quite relevant to us. All right, let me grab. I'm going to start with two of these Mike Wilcox Tarot and Oracle. And I just use the major arcana and the astrological cards, our zodiac cards, to give us a overall energy of the reading. Nope, didn't come out. Hold on. Here we go. We have Justice. Oof. And Aquarius, who just flung themselves at Mercury. So maybe it's an Aquarius you need to speak to, or some communication that needs to be resolved from Aquarius season. Okay. Aquarius, definitely a humanitarian energy. And Aquarians are known for really thinking outside of the box and being innovative. My son is an Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, Aquarius Mercury, and He's extremely like techie. He goes to music school for music production. He is like very like beats to his own drummer. He's very unique, but very caring and a very sweet person. And that's like a common trait in Aquarians, but he is 100% true to himself and has no fear of being himself. And he really respects that in other people, that quality of people being themselves and unique. So there might be some things that you're working with on your own uniqueness. And there might also be some things that you're feeling about humanity at this time. Okay. Or there could also, this can include friends. So you might have some things that are going on with friends as well. And then we have justice. Okay. Our little keeper of the karma. All right. So there may be a need to resolve some things that feel like karmic relationships or karmic debts. There might also be an actual type of litigation going on in your life. There might be relationships that you need to bring some type of fairness and balance to. This is a collective reading, so it will be different for everyone. We'll continue on with the reading and see how justice impacts it. Okay. So Aquarius and Justice. And Justice is Libra. I don't know if I said that earlier. So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Star Maiden Tarot. Okay, Spirit. Please give us 3 cards that help us with this message from Mercury. Oh, that's right. We're not doing 3 cards. We're freestyling. I forgot. See, I'm so used to doing things the way that I do them, and I'm stepping outside of my box and trying some new things. All right. So let me just get a few more cards out here and I'll start. Okay. Well, we do start with the Queen of Swords. So that is about communication. Okay. Okay, let's start here. So, Queen of Swords, heart chakra, throat chakra. Seems like there's some type of communication that needs to take place to honor our heart space. Okay. And it might be a conversation in which we are guided or will grow from being very patient and nurturing to the person that we're speaking to. And this could be also that you would like somebody to offer that energy to you. I think, though, this has to do with being you. Okay. And I think that there's a lot of growth, and taking this approach would really, for you, be healing and raise your vibration. Okay. Sometimes we need to set boundaries with people. All right. And the Queen of Swords gets a bad rap. And to me, I really appreciate her. I don't want somebody to shower me with false optimism. I don't want someone to tell me everything is one way when it's another way. I just want the truth. Okay. And I've done enough spiritual work where I can handle hearing the truth. And I've also done enough spiritual work where I can handle responsibly giving the truth to people. You don't always have to say things to people that they want to hear. However, with the Queen of Swords working from the heart chakra, you can say it kindly. Okay, so there may be something you need to get off your chest. As if you keep watching me, you will learn that to me, queens are guides, kings are leaders. Queens are going to show people very methodically how to work through, in this case, the Queen of Swords, communication. Okay, so you can be the example here, and you can set a boundary or tell somebody exactly how you feel, even if it feels like it's negative or you might actually be hurt. You can express that in a way that has integrity to you and the other person. Okay. And I think that's the lesson to learn here. And especially because the opportunity that I see is that this puts you in a position of the sun. Okay. This is you in your highest radiance. And this may be something that, with this Queen of Swords, that you might want to work towards, right? To be in this sun energy. Learning how to communicate from your heart space with respect to yourself and the other person takes a situation that started off with some conflict and turns it into something positive that you both grow and radiate from. Okay, you have the opportunity here to guide someone to do something in a higher vibrational way. And the outcome of that moves you towards the sun energy, where you are in your most radiant vibration. You are just absolutely like radiating positive energy. It's going to make you feel so good about yourself. It'll be freeing for you when you take this path. And when you take the path, the Wheel of Fortune comes. All right. The Wheel of Fortune absolutely moves in our favor and brings things to us that we may desire or have been working towards. But the thing about this Wheel of Fortune that very few people discuss is that if you are moving your energy into the highest vibration of this Queen of Swords, okay, towards this vibration of the sun, the energy of you that this Wheel of Fortune has to work with is in a very high vibration. If there's a lot of energy pushing into this Wheel of Fortune, it is going to move faster and faster and faster and be able to bring more to you. Okay. So the universe really wants to work with you here and bring you this feeling of internal radiance and joy and being proud of yourself so that it can bring more of that energy to you. All right. And I think with this Three of Swords, okay, because right, we have all these positive things and then boom, the Three of Swords. And if I feel like I'm off on this with the cards that come out, I will clarify it. However, I think that the opportunity here with changing this way that you've responded to things is going to be very healing to you, especially in your mind and how you process the difficult situations, okay? Because with this Three of Swords, yes, it can be somebody outside of us that has caused this mental anguish, but sometimes the way that we choose to handle situations in our life due to programming or defense mechanisms we've made for ourselves, we continue to be actually the person creating the difficulty for ourselves. And therefore, we're the ones putting those swords in our own heart. We're kind of breaking our own heart. And I think that this is an opportunity for you to communicate in this higher vibration so that you're not bringing this, being a contributor to heartbreak in your life, disappointing relationships, disappointing outcomes from conversations, okay, and communication. I think this is a big healing experience for you. And especially with that justice, right? Because that allows us to live in an environment where things are balanced. We're not on these super, super highs and super, super lows because we're in this mental reaction state all the time that causes this pain. Okay, I'm going to move on to the Rainbow Tarot. And I don't know when this reading will be done. I was told when I was outside, when I was told to freestyle, and I'm like, so when will this be done? The message was to me that I will know when it's finished. So using intuition here. Hopefully we're not here for 4 hours. Okay, let me see what comes out next. Okay. The uni is sending a very strong message. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay, we're replacing that Three of Swords with an opportunity to have the Ace of Cups. And guess who's back? The Queen of Swords. Okay, that's the universe saying, I said what I said. All right. And basically, it's becoming the Queen of Swords in the upright, okay, and not being the Queen of Swords in the reverse. I'm not reading reversals right now. I might at some point start doing that. I just figured as we're getting introduced to each other, I'm not sure if reversals confuse people, and I can learn more about you the more that I do readings. Okay, Hanged Man. The Moon. Okay. So we're choosing to work on our communication here, right? Thank you, Mr. Mercury. And so this is a reward, okay, to no longer choose being here. The Queen of Swords in reverse, and putting ourselves in situations where we are equally contributing to our own disappointment. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. And now we're given the opportunity to experience this emotional fulfillment. If you continue listening to me, I do say when I read, not always, but many times, when the universe gives us an ace, it's a reward because we did the work. Okay? We're not going to be in Seven of Swords and Five of Swords energy and get the Ace of Cups from the universe unless we confront what we're doing with that energy and why. Okay? So the Ace of Cups is here, is the opportunity to receive this emotional fulfillment. It's going to be different for everyone. Okay? And then again, another Queen of Swords, where now that we are feeling in this emotional state of contentment and fulfillment, we're really stepping into the energy of the Queen of Swords, and it's starting to feel like it's part of the emotional fulfillment. We can use our words with love. We can set boundaries with people with love. We can say no with love. Okay? And it's going to become easier and easier as you continue doing it. Like for me, making these videos is awkward for me right now because I'm used to doing it for a person that's sitting for a reading, and I'm not used to doing it on camera. But the more I do it, and the more I just kind of go through the ups and downs of it, the easier it's going to get. And I need to be patient with myself, right? It's a learning process. Okay. The Hanged Man. So we are gaining a new perspective of how we can choose to make decisions that make our life easier or add more difficulty. Okay. And I think you're seeing through the process of the decisions you're making that raising your vibration and choosing to act with integrity and choosing to be kind and choosing to be loving while you still honor yourself, right? You still have to respect yourself. And it's not selfish to make sure that you are heard and your needs are met and that people are reciprocating your energy that you're giving them back to you. So these are the things that you're processing, right? We're still new at it. So we need to kind of look at it from a different perspective and all perspectives and see, right? He's becoming enlightened in this position. See how we can grow with this new energy. All right. And another thing we might be focusing on while we're in that hanged man position is the shadow aspects, the unseen, our emotions. Why were we acting that way in the first place? What kind of hurts do we need to process here? And think about how we can heal so we don't go back into whatever caused this miscommunication in the first place, whatever it is that the universe brought to us that challenged us to be this Queen of Swords that communicates from her heart space and with somebody that required us to guide them through the process of the higher vibrational way of doing this. Why? How do we be the detective of ourselves to see where our behaviors, like with this Three of Swords rather, where did this come from? And how deep do we need to go down into ourselves to find the answers? Okay. A lot of times those um, defense mechanisms and when we go into fight or flight and we have these disappointing behaviors or allow them to happen at us, that's some deep stuff. Okay. So spend some of your time in this hanged man position, in this timeout of processing and looking at things from all angles. And don't forget, okay, because we have the sun and the moon here. All right. Look at both of them. Give them both some of your time. What is it that fully makes you radiant? What is it that brings you the biggest joy in life? And then what are the things that are hard for you to process about yourself that you may need to do a little bit more detective work on? Okay. All right. We are now going to pull some cards from the Flower Child Tarot. These are like a very 1960s groovy. If you haven't seen them before. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Now we're in our feminine grounding energy, nurturing in a grounding way. Eight of Cups. Two of Swords. Seven of Swords and Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So here we are, right? We're in this nurturing, grounding heart space, okay? And now, we've gone deep and we've spent the time in the hangman position and we've looked deep to see how we can go into our emotions and into our deepest feelings to figure out where we came into the place where we were playing into this Three of Swords energy, okay? And now we're nurturing ourselves. We're learning how to ground that energy. We're guiding ourselves into a space where we can really focus on how we move forward and become more abundant in this physical world that we're in right now. Okay. How can we make that work for us materially? Okay. Very, very like the Earth Mother. Like I always see the Queen of Pentacles, like that very earthy um, guide that helps us connect to the earth, but also realize that we need to look at the things that we put value on. Okay. It's nice to have cars. It's nice to have houses. It's nice to have designer clothes, but it's also nice to be abundant in the beauty of life, be abundant in true relationships, in true friendships. Okay. And then we learn that if things are not fully serving us, we're not going to spend our time on them. We're going to leave them behind. Notice her energy. She's not storming off in anger. She simply has looked at things in her cups and in her emotions. And she's like, no, anything that doesn't serve me, I need to leave behind. It's time for me to move forward to my emotional happiness. Okay? Very simple. I'm going to take these two cards together because we're being led into a place here that's going to become a little bit difficult in the process. There might be some confusion about making decisions logically and emotionally, right? We know emotions are involved. We have the water here and we have the moon here. And this is obviously a new place to be, right? Being in this high vibration of this Queen of Swords. So it looks like there might be a challenge saying, okay, well, now I have to handle things in this high vibration of the Queen of Swords, communicating from my heart space, but still holding my ground. How do I know if somebody's acting from their heart space? How do I know if I'm supposed to choose my heart over what I think is logical? Well, usually her eyes are blindfolded, and this is an opportunity for you to trust your intuition, right? There's a lot of elements here that connects this card to using your intuition between the water and the moon, but it's also unknown, okay? There may not be a clear answer. You just have to learn to trust yourself, okay? In the process, there may be, and I'm going to tell you why right now these two cards are connected, Seven of Swords. There may be an internal conflict for you for a little while, right? Five of Swords, choosing the Five of Swords to avoid the Two of Swords. But you're not going to be able to avoid it. It's here and it's here, okay? You're going to have to learn how to make decisions instead of putting yourself in basically gaslighting yourself or telling yourself that something is one way when it's not. I just sounded like my Italian grandmother. When it's a not. Um, so you're going to have to start learning to not create conflict to avoid making decisions when you don't know what to do. And that can be caused by just not giving people clear answers. That can be caused by saying yes when you really don't think it's the right thing to do, because while you're here in the decision state, instead of starting to listen to your intuition, you're getting yourself, closing your eyes off and trying just to avoid the situation, right? Then conflict is created, whether in your mind or actually with someone else, right? Because sometimes people just want an answer. And if you're kind of avoiding them to give them an answer because you can't make a decision, that can cause some of this conflict. But I do see that we do get some it looks like you're getting the lesson here, okay? Because now we have the Ace of Pentacles. And what did I say earlier? The universe, if we're doing absolute, excuse me, unless we're in a situation where we've been completely victimized, the universe is not going to give us a pentacle, an ace, unless we've done something to earn it. Okay, that we're working on ourselves and we're trying to do better. It doesn't mean that we've achieved it, but the universe can see that we're trying to take part in our own improvement. The only time, like I said, where that might not happen is if whatever's going on is out of your control. But the way the universe works is if there's a lesson that can be learned, the universe wants you to learn it. Okay, so this Ace of Pentacles, something is going to be offered to you from the universe that is tangible, that you can hold in your hand. Okay, it could be intangible, and hold in your hand doesn't mean that it's like the universe is giving you a crystal, but it could be the opportunity for a new job. It could be the opportunity for a new home. It could be the opportunity for a new relationship that is very grounding and stable. It's going to be different for everyone, but the opportunity is there. Okay? It's coming. You just have to, these little bumps in the road, that doesn't mean you're not doing a good job. Sometimes you're doing a great job, and then the universe goes, oh, okay, let's add this to it and see what you do. How do you handle it now? You know, curveballs come in all the time. It's not to throw us off course. It's to make us more versatile in the way that we're able to handle things. All right. Okay. Let's get some of the Moon Baby Tarot. I tell you what, that Three of Cups has been coming out nonstop. The universe, spirit, everybody's wanting us to stop taking things so seriously and have a little bit of fun. So we have the High Priestess, the Three of Cups, the Page of Pentacles. Hold on one second. I gotta push that with my foot. The Four of Swords and the Two of Wands. Okay, we're going to leave that there. I think that's plenty of cards. Okay. So here we are. Okay. We're coming to a place where it's really about trusting your intuition on reading people and working with the transition here. Okay. With the swords and the way that you communicate with yourself and others. Okay. We're no longer going to let that communication cause problems for us. Okay. We're going to sit a little bit longer. All right. And we're going to go within with our High Priestess. Okay. Take a time out and, all right, Four of Swords. Process your Three of Swords so you can have your Sword of Truth here. Okay. What does she have? What does our Queen of Wands have? Okay. Meditate on what this sword means to you and how we're letting go of those three swords in your High Priestess energy. Okay. To help you here. Okay. And then you're avoiding this, creating conflict to avoid making the decisions, and you're avoiding repeating, making situations more volatile and difficult than they need to be. Okay. I'm making a mess of this table right now. I'm sorry, when I start reading, I'm just like, oh, everything starts connecting and I can never remember what I read after because I'm definitely channeling the information when I'm reading. Okay. So, all right, we're learning to trust our intuition, and here we are. We're going to lighten up a little bit. All right, we're going to find the sun's going down. So, I'm sorry if it's getting a little bit dark. I do have a light plugged in right up here. So we're going to find our people that can support us, and we're going to do things with us. Do things with them that, take us out of processing all of this change we're going through. Okay. And ask for support when you need it. Okay. And here we are receiving the pentacle. What are we going to do with it? Communicate, throat chakra, grounded. We're going to start by communicating in grounding ways, right? That's part of our learning process here. And we're going to learn to ask for help when we need it, and not get ourselves in a ungrounded energy because we're not sure we have all the answers. We're going to remember that the throat chakra is not just speaking, it's also what we hear. Okay, so we're going to listen and stay grounded, even if some of those things make us feel a little like we don't have all the answers. We don't want our ego to get in the way of this. Okay. And also with that throat chakra, it's the information you're taking in. Okay. So make sure you listen to information, especially when you're going to go into your time here and process. Okay. Work on trusting your intuition. Make sure the things that you are receiving information wise are keeping you grounded. Okay. And start deciding what you want to do with this pentacle. Okay. And then we have this Two of Wands. All right. Where now are we moving with our creativity, our inspiration, and our passions? Okay. This is where the direction we are used to going. We're comfortable here. But this wand offers this entirely new world to us. Okay. So if you do have some things from the past you want to take with you, just make sure that they're serving you for your greatest and highest good. All right. Moving forward, the sky's the limit. You can move forward any way you want, but you're moving forward in this really beautiful energy where you know how to communicate, you know how to work with yourself from the heart space, and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Yes, create boundaries, but you're doing it in this very authentic way. Okay. When we cut out all that bull of like not saying what we want to say or knowing how to say it right, and then we say it wrong because we waited too long to say it, and the person's looking at you like, why are you screaming at me right now? And little do they know you've been holding it in for 4 months. Okay. So they're hearing about it for the first time, but you've been in your mental space, thinking about it for, a very long time, and they're completely caught off guard. We're not doing those things anymore. Right. So the world is your oyster. You are now learning how to live in this emotionally high vibration, especially in your communication. All right. And especially in that feminine energy. I think most of what we have here is feminine energy, right? The masculine energy we have is the Hanged Man and this Page of Pentacles, right? So we do have Mercury over there in the Aquarius. So we do have some masculine energy, but primarily there's a lot of feminine energy here. So nurture your feminine energy, all right? And then kind of like, again, with if the communication's been a little bit on the forceful side, it might be the best thing to do is really work with that feminine energy right now. Okay. But you have this. You're going to make the decision correctly. You're going to move forward in the right direction. The world is at your fingertips. So new astrological new year, new you. Okay. Perfect. So with that all said, I might take one oracle card. Let's see, which deck do I want to pull from? We'll take one oracle card, and it will be, let's take it from the Work Your Light. Okay. Spirit, please give us one card from the Work Your Light oracle to conclude this message. Okay, thank you. Up here comes Naughty Kitty Cat. One card, please, Spirit. Up here he comes. Come on, one out. There we go. If you ever see me kind of struggling with the cards, I have really small hands, and most of the decks far exceed my ability to stretch my hands. So I kind of shuffle like I have some kind of crazy claw, but that's just unfortunately the way I have to do it. Okay, perfect. I love this. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. That's beautiful. Love it. Let me just find that in here. Bear with me. These are not numbered, so I have to go through the pages. Kitty cat, what are you doing? That's Rama. And my dog is Hanuman. They are the best friends in the Hindu religion. Besties. Okay, let me move this a little bit into, actually, I can move this way. There we go. That might help. Sorry if my body's in the way. Okay. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. Okay? That Three of Swords. To let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Whenever you find yourself at the moment, whenever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts. That sounded weird. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, I'm sorry, that's why. I'm sorry. I'm going to blame it on you, Mercury. Sorry, you're looking at me and it's your fault. You're in retrograde and I can't read right now. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. One day in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not be all smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Love it. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please comment, share, like, subscribe. I have to remember all of these things. I'm not used to, I don't say these to my people in my in-person readings. And also, if you'd like a personal reading, my email is in the description. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, I believe. Okay. Thank you. Bye.